What's going on? Hey, I want to talk a little bit about fear because I have a couple of different opinions about it. So I want to talk to you a little bit about fear. I had a conversation today with somebody about what fear can do to us and how it can, many people. What's up, Mickey Whiteside? How you doing? Many people, Jim Weaver, Margaret, how are you? So, many people get paralyzed by fear. Tiffany, how are you doing? Good to see you. So, a lot of people will get paralyzed by fear. And I've been there. Robert Stern, James, how you doing? And I've been there. I've been paralyzed by fear. I've been paralyzed by fear so much that it made me go homeless. I've been homeless. I write about it in my book. I've been homeless. Steal our joy. I'm not trying to steal anybody's joy. In fact, I'm going to help you create some joy. So, I've been homeless 4 different times in my life. Literally nowhere to go. Endry Laska. Samuel Sneed, how you doing, brother? So, what does fear do to most people? Fear can cause, it can cause all kinds of issues. It can cause you to worry yourself to death, literally. Dave, how you doing? Jason Alt, my brother, how you doing? Jason Alt's right here in Columbus. I love that dude. CEO of a big, billion-dollar company. I'm speaking that into existence for you, brother. Katrina, how are you? So listen, fear is one of those things that can be paralyzing. It can cause people to get overly cocky or whatever and do dumb things. But, one of the other things that it can do is it can be a really, really good motivator. So, and what I mean by that is I've been sober. I haven't had a drop of alcohol or a minor mood-altering drug in 15 and a half years. And so I have this healthy fear of drinking. Last time I drank, what's up, Shane? How you doing? The last time I drank, there's my buddy Kevin Gilkison. How you doing, brother? That dude right there is the biggest cop you will ever meet in your life. He's literally friends with Lou Ferrigno too. But that dude's huge. But and that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons I don't drink. I have a fear of breaking out, right? I don't drink alcohol because I break out in handcuffs. So I don't do it. It's not good for me. And it's not good for society. So, but if you take that fear, you can use that in a healthy way. You can use it in a way that's like, hey, I have a healthy fear of not drinking, and here's all the reasons why. And my life is way better without alcohol or any of that other crap. Way better. I also have a healthy fear of hashtag published author. Hashtag published author. It's something Richard Trevino and I came up with when we developed the system. It's backwards. So, hey, brother, it's good to see you, Kevin. Good to see you, bro. So, when you have a fear it can be, people are always like, well, fear, you can't be afraid. And there's certain things you definitely can't be afraid of. But there are also, I literally just had this conversation with somebody a little bit ago. I'm like, look, fear can be a great motivator. I've heard Grant say it. I've heard all kinds of other people say it. Robert, all right, dude, we got him. So, I've heard people say look, I wake up scared every day. I've heard people say that, wake up. Is it Mark Cuban that said, you should work every day like somebody's trying to take it all from you? Dude, you don't know about my book? Walls of Wisdom, Turning Pain into Profit. If you haven't gotten this, it's on Amazon right now for $11.49. And I am getting rich off of it. No, I'm not at all. But like, go pick up a copy. I would appreciate the support, and I think you'll enjoy reading it. It's a little book. It's a short book. It's a short book, and you know, it's packed with a lot of valuable information. So it's on Amazon, man. It's on Amazon. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, Brad. I really do. So you know, it's like, if you allow fear to control your life, then you're going to live a paralyzed life, right? And I believe that completely. However, I also believe that fear can be a great motivator. I'm afraid of being homeless. I'm terrified of ever becoming homeless again. I mean, I don't live and think, oh my God, I don't live like that. I'm more of the Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich mindset, where I'm like, you know, I'm always projecting the positive into my life, and I write my goals down like Grant taught me years ago. And I'd never heard that before, Grant, like write them down twice a day. I'd never heard that. I always, you know, thought, well, you write your goals down like, you know, every so often, maybe once a year, sometimes more. What's up, Michael? How you doing, bro? Kelly, how are you? So, you know, fear can work both ways. I'm interested in what some of you have to say about what fear's done to you in your life, in good ways and in bad, because you've got to look at it, you know, like I said, Adam Webster, what's up, bro? What's going on, dude? So, you know, if you look at it from both sides of the coin, fear can be good and it can be bad. Brian Schneider, how you doing, bro? You made me go look up humility today, dude, and then your post disappeared and I got lost in something else. But Brian, that was a great post, dude. That was a good post. So Patricia Grimm, how are you? God, I haven't seen you in a while. So, you know, look, fear is a powerful thing in our lives. It happens to everybody. And if somebody says, I never have fear, well, they'll lie to you about other shit too. So I don't buy that. Everybody experiences fear, promise you. All right. So it's up there. I'll go check it out again, dude. Fear used to hold me back. Now I use it. Yeah, you've got to use fear as it can be used as a positive too, right? Like you can, Greg Crane up in Canada, eh? Dude, down here in Ohio, we're getting the same temperatures y'all are getting, man. It's crazy cold. And we have like 6 inches of snow out there. It's nuts. It's beautiful, but it's nuts. So, you know, I wanted to make this about talk about fear and what it can do for you in a negative way and in a positive way, because fear, absolutely. Christopher Grant, how are you, bro? The fear can be a motivator. And if you take your fears and you allow them to motivate you, like I'm motivated to, you know, read books like this, if you haven't heard of this, by Jeb Blount. It looks like it's going to be a good book. I've read a little bit of it. Or to read books like this by Grant Cardone, the 10X quote book, or to read, you know, the other things by Grant, and by, you know, to read books like this by Jeffrey Gitomer, The Little Red Book of Selling, or to, you know, read books like this by me. Ha! Look at that, I'm plugging myself. But I'm always looking for ways to improve my state of mind, to improve my you know, winning attitude, and make it more positive. Because hey, man, life. There's a book called The Road Less Traveled, written by Scott Peck, and the very first 3 words of that book are the most powerful words I've ever heard, and that is, life is difficult. Life is difficult. But the sooner that you stop expecting it to be other than, hey, there's going to be things that we all are challenged with. I've been homeless twice, went from $500,000 home on 17 acres. I worked my butt off for 15 years to homeless. Major illness. There isn't a day that goes by now that I don't fear being homeless again. Fear is a major motivator. Exactly. Fear has caused so much growth for me, but it also has had moments. Rick Bauer, how are you, man? Also moments of paralysis. It's so damn crazy. The little fears that stop me after I look back. Right. So like, I've had, face everything and rise. That's right. Or, it could be F everything and run. We've all heard that one too. So, but if you do things where you're feeding your mind, because look, the truth of the matter is, and I write about this in my book, that I've heard that 96% of everything that we do is on an unconscious level, that our subconscious mind is controlling it all, like me blinking or me breathing or my heart beating or whatever, it's all done subconsciously. And that controls like almost everything that we do in our lives. So like 96% or whatever it is, who knows? I mean, who knows what statistics are true and what's not, but a huge portion of what we do is on autopilot. And so much of it is based in fear. And if you can start recognizing that and reprogram. By the way, thank you for any shares. I don't have this open on my screen to see who shared and who hasn't, but I appreciate any shares. Appreciate all of the hearts. Tiffany, I see your hearts there. You're awesome. Appreciate you. If our lives are being controlled by everything subconsciously, face the fear. There you go. I've faced a lot of fear. Feel everything and recover. Right. So, you got to face your fears, man. You got to face them. You got to take them head on. The only way that you can do it. I talk to people about going live on Facebook, or I've talked to, people about how to expand your life. And I honestly, I've learned so much from Grant Cardone, and as a lot of people have, I have learned so much from him when he talks about using every single possible line available to get yourself out there, to get known, to really blow yourself up. And people will do it for a little while and then they stop because they're like, oh, I did it for a while and I just didn't see the results. I was doing live streams and, only 8 people. There's 8 people in my live stream. Only 8 because nobody's sharing it. Is nobody sharing this? Is it not good? I'm sorry if I'm not shareable tonight. But you've got to be able to face those fears, take them head on and go after it. And the fears that the homelessness, my fear of drinking. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much. So, these fears, I can't share it. Don't know why. That's weird. I have it set to public. So, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to share it. I'm sorry about that. But thank you for trying, James. I appreciate it. So, when it comes to facing your fears, you've got to... Really? It won't let you share? That's weird. That is so crazy. Wonder why. I wonder why it's doing that. Anyway, when it comes to fear, you've got to take that fear. You've got to allow it to motivate you to A, not live in that fear, and B, not ever go back to what you're afraid of. Because if you're living in fear, it's probably based on something that you're either projecting could happen. Yeah, I've been having conversations about that. It could. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that, bro. The fear is, that's crazy that the share is not there. That's insane. So, I had that the other day on somebody else's. The share button wasn't on their, so I couldn't see it on my phone. But I have my computer right there, so I pulled it up on my phone or on my computer, and the share button was there. So I don't know why it's not working. It's weird, but it is what it is. Here it is. It's back. All right. Hallelujah. Mark heard us talking about him. He doesn't want to get a bad rap. So, thank you, Tiffany. So, yeah, yeah, I know. They're always changing it. You know, and that's the other thing. Like, people are like, oh my God, Facebook's changing things. What are we going to do? What do you mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you know, Facebook is huge, right? It's huge. And a lot of us have a humongous reach because of it. But listen, let me tell you a story. I got a story for you. I know these kids that have 2.7 million subscribers on YouTube. 2.7 million. TJ, what's up? They have 2.7 million subscribers on YouTube. Their income from that is over $100,000 a month. They're like in their mid-20s, which is insane, right? They don't even have much of a Facebook presence. Like barely any. So there's all these Facebook geniuses out there that are like trying to terrify people. Like, hey, I got the secret. Look, man, I found Grant Cardone not through Facebook. I found him on YouTube. I found Grant on YouTube, as many people have, right? So don't forget about the other social media platforms out there. You know, if enough people say, hey, Zuck, we're tired of your crap, man, you know, then YouTube Live will be a huge thing. What do they put out on YouTube? DM me, I'll tell you about it. Facebook changing. Yeah, all the gurus, they're trying to create pandemonium so they can get you on a monthly retainer. They're trying to create fear so they can get you to pay them to show you the way out of the fear. Well, you know, that's just not real. It's not real. I mean, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's YouTube, there's so many other social media, LinkedIn, there's so many other social media channels if you want to put your message out there. If your reach isn't getting there via Facebook, then hey, you know, there's plenty of other things. And you can very inexpensively advertise on Facebook. You know, I remember when Facebook called me and asked me to be a partner of theirs years ago. And I was like, yeah, Periscope's still out there too. And at first I thought, I don't think Periscope died. I think it's just dormant right now. It may come back. If Facebook does enough crap to piss enough people off, Periscope might come back. So, yeah, everything is fine. You just keep putting out engaging content. That's it. Fear isn't real. Although fearful thoughts are real, right? Because people have them. We all do. And if somebody says, I never have fear ever, I don't feel it, I don't think it, they'll lie to you about everything else too. So everybody experiences fear. It's a natural human emotion. But it's what you do with that fear that separates you from whether you become somebody that's paralyzed in the fear and stuck in it, or somebody that's going to push through it and become a champion anyway. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can use fear. You can use those fears. I've been homeless 4 times. You think I'm not afraid of ever going back there? I guarantee you I am. I've had cars repossessed. You think I'm not afraid of getting a car repoed? Yep. That's a fear that's there. You know, I've been through bankruptcy. You think I'm afraid? Like, yeah, dude, I'm afraid. You know, I'm afraid of all of that. But I see what you said there, Brad. I didn't mean to beat you to the punch, but that's part of the reason I did this live tonight, is because I was talking to somebody about it. I said, look, it's not real. It's not real, but you can use that fear. Hey, Carl, how you doing? Michael Fafrick, how you doing? You can use that fear to motivate you to push and do even more. I mean, it's 10:37. I'm still sitting here. I just got off the phone, not even, I don't know, probably 45 minutes ago with a client. I've been going all day long. Go, 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 go. Why? Well, you know, Probably some fear motivating me in there. Rebecca Chernick, how are you? I see you on there. So I am fearful about my kids all the time, the world we're in. See, I don't live in that fear. I mean, I have those fears, but, you know, there are certain things beyond my control. What I can do is say a nice prayer, send them positive energy, and you know, and just hope and pray that my children are protected. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? You know, I really do that. But I'm not going to be paralyzed by fear of what could happen. And, you know, and I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I know people who are. I know who are very, very afraid. But that's one of the things, again, I love what Cardone says about that, where he talks about, you know, like, you know, who teaches their kids not to talk to strangers? Show of hands. And people all over the audience put their hand up, and he goes, right. He goes, that's because you were taught that. He goes, but let me ask you a question. Who has what you want? Strangers, right? Strangers have everything that you want. Everything. Why would you teach your kids not to talk to strangers? That's who's got what if they want to be in sales, they want, and if you're alive, you're in sales. So like, you know, unless you just live in a bubble and never ever talk to or interact in any way with anyone, then, you know, you're not in sales. You're living in a weird place, right? But if you are walking this planet and you are interacting with or dealing with other human beings on any level, if you're married, you're in sales. If you're getting a divorce, you're in sales. If you have children, you're definitely in sales. Talk about master negotiators. Holy mother of God. So, like, you know, you've got to take that fear. I remember when I did my first live stream, and I've said this before, I was nervous as a hooker in church, and it was Periscope. And I fired that puppy up. I was in my conference room, and I was like, holy what am I going to say? What if an ex-girlfriend gets on here? Well, you know, what if an ex-wife gets on here? What if, you know, I mean, what if? And I'm sitting there going, I was standing in my conference room sweating. I literally broke out in a sweat. I was so freaking scared. I didn't know, like, what am I going to say? Are people going to think I'm dumb? Yes. And then I said, I'm like, well, I can't picture them all in their underwear. Like, you know, like they say in public speaking. So I'm like, well, okay. So I know what I'll do. They're all going to think I'm dumb, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so I just thought, they're all going to think I'm dumb. They're all going to think I'm stupid. So I'm going live and I'm going to show them all that I'm stupid and I'm dumb. Let's just do this. I mean, I was freaking terrified, but I was watching Grant Cardone go live like every 10 minutes on Periscope and Meerkat and all these other live streaming apps. And it was before Facebook even had a Facebook Live. And, you know, and I was like, and then I don't even know how many Periscopes I've done. I think I've done 700 or 800. I have like 2 million hearts or 1.8 million hearts, those little hearts that you accumulate where people tap the screen and all that. And, you know, so I've done a ton of Periscopes. I've done a ton of Facebook Lives. So, Kylie, that's funny. She goes, the things your friends say, that's funny. So, like, listen, you know, fear exists for all of us. And now, even today, if I go live, if I don't think, you know, if I don't have, Periscope, same here, dude, same here. I like, that's where I found my spine, I guess. I don't know what it was, but it was, and I was doing well. I mean, I was doing really well. But, you know, back in my 20s when I was doing super well in the 7-figure category, like in my late 20s, you know, and I drank all of it away, but I had liquid courage, man. I could drink a bottle of Crown Royal and a few beers, and trust me, there was no fear that I knew of, not in that state. And then after, you know, it's been 15 and a half years of sobriety for me, and, you know, I heard that an acronym one time for the word sober stands for son of a bitch, everything's real. Like I had like to face the reality that sorry, you have a kid watching. Sorry about that. Daniel Joseph, my brother, how you doing? James Matherly, how you doing? So, you know, I went through all those emotions of like, wow, I got to feel things now. Oh, cool, dude. Nice. Yeah, Daniel's on the Published Author Academy. So's Tiffany. Tiffany Oyby is on there. So, you know, like, so I had to learn how to deal with emotions. I had to learn how to deal with hashtag sober, right? I had to learn how to deal with, you know, things that I never even knew existed emotionally. Like I just didn't. And so, you know, I mean, it's been a lot, but I had to face these fears. And it was back in 2013 or 14 when I finally, I mean, I was doing very, very well, but they call it a shot of courage to get you. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, the problem is if I take a drink of that, man, it's off to the freaking races for me. So I just don't do it. But, you know, trust me, I went through a nice little long stint of sobriety and thought, okay, I got this now. I'm cured. I'll be all right. And whew, that didn't work. Two repossessed Mercedes and a beautiful home that I lost and a lot of stuff. So that didn't work out too well. So I thought, you know, I better just try to figure out how to do this one day at a time and remain abstinent from it. But, you know, and again, that's not, I'm not living in a paralyzing fear. I'm around people who drink all the time. It doesn't bother me today at all, like at all. You know, I just spent a year in Vegas where, you know, everybody drinks, like literally everybody drinks. There's like 10-year-olds that are like, I'm kidding. But no, I mean, everybody drinks out there. And you can't walk through a casino without coming out smelling like smoke and booze. You know, so like, but I didn't drink because I have a healthy fear of not drinking. Like it's something that my life today is way too good. So it's a healthy fear and it's a place of gratitude. It's a place of feeling like, wow, you know, I'm very, very grateful for where I am today. I'm very, very grateful saying, right, I know, oh, Samuel, I know, man, I know it is an old saying. And trust me, I used to carry a flask, I know. I used to be a national sales trainer in the home security industry, and I spoke on a stage in Nashville one time, and there were 1,700 people in the audience, and I was, oh man. They wanted to know how I was doing so well with door-to-door salespeople. I'm like, I just keep them all drunk. I'm kidding. Because they don't care. They just go knock on any damn door. Like, they didn't care. My salespeople just didn't care. They were drunk all the time with me. But no, like, you know, I mean, that's the thing is I you know, I had to drink before I walked out on that stage. I didn't know any other way. And today, you know, I've not walked out on a stage like that one, but I know that I could do it sober. And so that fear of going back to that life, the fear of going back to the life of homelessness, the fear of having a car repossessed makes me work harder. The fear of not being able to pay my bills makes me work extremely hard. You know, so fear can be a healthy motivator. I'm not saying allow fear to control you, because there's other fears, right? Well, what if I pick up the phone and call a potential client and they hang up on me? That's just a dumb fear. Of course they're going to hang up on you. Like, right? That's just a dumb fear. Like, it's going to happen. Trust me. I've had people hang up on me. I hit redial 4 times, call them back 4 times. They hang up each time. You know, and then I call them back days and days and days later. Or if it's somebody I really want as a client, I'll show up at your damn office. Like, I ain't afraid. Like, what are you going to do? Shoot me? Go to prison? Okay, that's dumb. I'm dead. You're in prison. Who's got the worst situation? I don't know. But, you know, like, look. The thing is like, you know, if you allow if you allow the fear to motivate you, like it has for me, man, you can accomplish so many things. And you write down those things, like Grant talks about writing down your goals, writing down your goals. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? You know, writing down your goals every couple or twice a day, and writing down, you know, having a plan in place, having targets in place, having huge goals. I mean, if you guys saw, he just took delivery of a Gulfstream 550. Brand new, that's a $61 million jet. I mean, come on, man, that's freaking unbelievable. Who flies around in a $61 million jet? Somebody who's gotten over their fears. That's who. Thanks, Randy. I appreciate you being on here, brother. Tristan, how are you? Joshua Trevino, how are you, man? So, you know, just remember, Deborah Leanne Smart, how are you? Just remember, from all the way down under, we live and learn. I've been cleansed from alcohol for over a year now. I don't miss it. I just went to a business convention in Florida a couple weeks ago, and people were shocked that I don't drink. I used to be, yeah, exactly. So look, dude, I've had people make fun of me. I've had people try to push me into drinking with them and all that. Those are some low scumbags that do shit like that, especially if they know that you can't. Those are just dirtballs. I won't name names, but there's some dirtbags out there that try that crap. But listen, you know, I just looked at him. I said, you know what, man, here's the truth. The truth is I've spilled more of that shit than you've drank. So, you know, you don't want me to drink. You don't want me to drink, man. I'll be hitting on your wife. Be crazy, crazy stuff. Nice, dude. Yeah, that'd be great, Robert. Build a core purpose bigger than your fear and residual mind shift it out of the way when it shows its head. Attention is powerful. Attention is very powerful. Yes, I agree. So remember, set your intention on what you want to accomplish in life. As you start heading towards that, things are going to happen. You're going to hit roadblocks. Those roadblocks primarily are fears that are not real, right? But you're also going to run into the situations where, you know, like being in a situation where it's like, oh, everybody around me is drinking and I don't drink, and it would be a terrible idea if I do drink. Well, it's a really big motivator for me to have the fear of drinking. That's a positive fear. It's a positive fear to go, you know what? I can't drink. It's just a positive fear I have, right? So there's positive fears. I truly believe that. It's a positive fear to never want to be homeless again. That's a positive fear. So, you know, just compartmentalize them. Compartmentalize them. Look at everything you have going and run, man. You know, again, Grant Cardone, he said that he said my mom used to have a saying. He said she would say, when you're going through hell, stomp on the gas pedal. So if you're going through hell, you gotta stomp on the gas pedal. You gotta stomp on the gas pedal. You gotta, dude, you know what, Deborah, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm not being transparent for props. I appreciate that though. But you know, I mean, what, I've been the other way, you know, and for me, it's no way for me to live, man. I'd rather just be open and honest and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I got. This is what I did. And this is where I'm headed. And y'all can come along with me for the ride, or you can stand back there and judge me. But I'm going forward. And I'm going forward with some freaking steam. So, you know what? I don't have anything else. I just wanted to tell you that, hey, not all fears are bad. Not all fears are bad. Some fears can be really excellent motivators. Use those things. Push yourself. Push yourself. I had somebody call me a fat ass earlier today. And I went, what? He said, yeah, you're a fat ass. I said, well, I think I better do something about that. There's a fear, being called a fat ass. I don't like being called a fat ass. It was this dude in the mirror in my bathroom this morning. Yeah, it was me. I called myself. I'm like, you fat ass. Do something about that, man. What are you doing? Freaking get your shit together, man. Don't, and you know, so I'm what, but it's true, right? Like we all judge ourselves. Like we do. We judge ourselves. And you have to take that and freaking do something about it. Tiffany, you have to do something about it. Oh, dude, yeah. That's not what my mirror said today. But you know, you gotta take control of your life, man. You gotta take control of your life. You got to take control of it. You gotta go, man, like I'm not where I wanna be. Well, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna live in fear? Am I going to live in the fear of, oh, I'm not where I'm going to be, so I'm just going to sit here and mope and whine and piss and bitch about it? No, man, pardon my language, but you got to do something about it. You got to take freaking massive action. Massive action. I'm serious. You got to take massive action. That's it. That's it. Don't let fear paralyze you. Use your fear to motivate you. Take those fears, let them motivate you. Let them motivate you. And move. Go, man. You got to go, go, go. You got to go. Run those stairs. Right. Exactly. I agree. Massive immediate action and shut the fear up. That's it. You got to shut it down, man. That fear... I've seen it so many times. I've seen, like, you know, I've trained salespeople where you know, I can pick up the phone, I can call anybody. I don't care who it is. I'll call anybody, and I'll call them persistently. Yeah, get off your fat ass, right? I'll call them persistently, and I won't give up until like. I mean, I won't give up, and that's one of the things that you know. I don't want to make this all about Grant Cardone, but that's one of the things that you know, like I've heard, you know, hey, I'm going to keep following up until one of us dies or you buy, one of the two, right? So like you've got to freaking, you got to shut the fear down and do whatever it takes. Like I build websites. I do like, you know, web application engineering. I help people get their training on this new platform I'm partnered with, Knowledge Link. And I do some really, really cool things. And when I first started this company, I started freelancing in '02. And I knew a little bit about building websites, but I didn't know a lot. And I helped a buddy's wife out. She's a realtor, and I helped her out, and she paid me some money. And I thought, man, this is a great business. I'm gonna have to see if I can really get into this. There's got to be other people. And then I ended up doing a Mercedes-Benz website. And you want to talk about fear? I'm sitting in a $10 million building with the president of a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and he's looking at me. He didn't know what Google was, so I did at least have some sort of a step up on him. But, you know, like, I'm sitting there looking at this guy going, yeah, I can build you a website. And I was terrified. I mean, I was terrified. Like, I just told this dude in a $10 million facility, I can build your website, and I've never built a car website, an auto dealer website, and it's, you know, not just like some used car dealer with a couple of cars he's trying to move. It's a freaking Mercedes dealership. And yeah, oh yeah, dude, I can build you a website, get you to the top of Google, I can do all that. And you know, I knew a lot about it, but I'd never done an auto dealer's website. I had to like face my fear, and I knew I could figure it out. I knew I could figure it out. And so I did. I figured it out. And that was back in 2002. So that's been a while ago. It's been 16 freaking years. Are you kidding me? 16 years ago. Good God. So like, you know, you face the fears. You face your fears. You stand up to them. You take them on. Now, I'm not saying you walk into you don't walk into a surgery center and say, hey, I can perform brain surgery. I got this, y'all. Step aside. Step aside. Time goes fast. It sure does. And it picks up speed when I'm going to be 50 this year. I can't even believe that shit. And it's picking up speed. Like, it's coming fast. So, I couldn't walk into a surgery center and say, hey, I got this. Step aside. Hey, somebody give me what's that thing you do to cut open? Like, no, dude, you don't do all that. You don't want to do that. No, can't be a neurosurgeon. That takes some very specialized training. But back in 2002, when there weren't a whole lot of people out there building websites, and I had built my first one in 1994, I knew enough about it that I knew I would be able to figure it out, right? So, and technology freaking is changing, man. It's changing fast. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't keeping up with it, or they're trying to put Band-Aids on stuff. And, I see that too. And that doesn't work either. Don't give Ken a scalpel. Yeah, don't. That would not be good for the recipient. So, you got to stay in your lane. You got to find your lane. You got to get passionate about your lane. You got to have some sort of a logical understanding, but you also have to be able to give it everything, like freaking everything that you have. Be ethical, help people as much as you possibly can. Give it everything you have. Do you think social media and phone apps will take over websites? That's a great question, actually, Earl. And my answer to that is absolutely not, no. Because I think that people are still going to want to do due diligence. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think websites are always going to have a place. I think websites are changing. We're doing ClickFunnels now also, because some people are like, man, I just want a quick landing page or a lead magnet or a funnel or whatever. So we're doing those now too, but I can still build a website in WordPress, or I can build it in PHP or is anybody even using ASP? I don't think anybody uses .NET as much, maybe on some of the bigger database projects, but so I don't think that social media and phone apps are going to take over websites. But there's, if you go into in Facebook advertising, for example, now you can set up ads where they can just boom, send you a message directly to your Facebook Messenger, and you're not sending them. Oh, you weren't on here for that, Randy. It says hashtag. This is something Richard Trevino and I did when we put out the Published Author Academy. So you go to publishedauthoracademy.com if you have any interest in learning how to write a book. You can get it right now for $397, and that gives you lifetime access to Published Author Academy. So yeah, we had these made up. It was a marketing idea that we never did anything with. So now I've got these extra t-shirts I throw on once in a while when my Steelers shirt, I think I may have set that on fire yesterday, but we won't talk about that. What a sad day. That's a sad day. So I have a fear, right? This whole thing is supposed to be about fear. I have a fear of being judged because I'm a Steelers fan. Or am I still? I don't know. I have been since I was 7 years old, and it's almost as bad as being a Browns fan. At least if you're a Browns fan, you pretty much know that they're going to lose. The Steelers give you some freaking hope. They give you a little bit of hope. It's like that freaking... Did you all see the freaking game with Minnesota and and that was unbelievable. New Orleans. Holy crap. I cannot believe that. So need your own space too. Believe it or not, there have been apps and platforms. Yeah, right. AOL. Steelers Nation. Jeez. I'll tell you what, though, I didn't feel as bad for the Steelers as I felt for New Orleans. 58 seconds left. There were literally 58 seconds left. And they came back and freaking scored that. That was just, that was all. I told a buddy of mine who lives in New Orleans, we were literally, he called me. He's like, did you blank and see that? And I'm like, that was crazy, dude. I've never seen anything like that, ever. I've never seen anything like that game. That was unreal. In fact, I was watching Elena Cardone's Instagram story. Bless her heart. I love Elena and Grant. She was like up dancing. Yeah, who dat? And like on her Instagram story. Oh my God. The very next, and I'm like, oh God, this isn't going well because she's dancing. I'm thinking, oh shoot, this is part of her IG story where she doesn't know yet. And I mean, holy crap. And then it was like this really somber, like, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Like, it was unreal. Like, I can't believe that. I said to my buddy, Steven, I said, dude, that literally, that play, the way that whole thing, like that is either a setup, which too many like crazy things happen. Like the defender. Oh, Jerry, you haven't seen that? Dude, too many crazy things happen. Like I think it was a D-back or safety. Like he's coming in to block the pass and he slips or does something. There's another defender that could have tackled that guy. So there's two defenders right there, right? But the first guy that's going up to block the pass, like freaking knocks the other defender out, completely out. Like they're both down on the ground. And the guy that catches the ball starts to lose his balance, hits the ground with his hand and catches his balance. And he's up and runs 40 yards for a freaking touchdown to win the game with like no time left on the clock. It was freaking unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it in football ever. Like it was unreal. So, there's some things, man, I don't know. I think the Vikings either had like, the NFL's like, hey, we got to have the Vikings playing in the new stadium at home for the thing. So let's make sure that happens. Or if you don't believe in conspiracy theories, there was some kind of divine intervention because that's insane, man. That just doesn't happen. That does not happen in football, ever. Kind of like the Steelers getting back to a Super Bowl with Ben Roethlisberger as their quarterback. That just ain't going to happen again. Anyway, so, and I've accepted that. So what I talked about early on this, I'm going to finish up and get off here. Minnesota still believed, yeah. I mean, exactly. It's just unbelievable. So, look, use fear as a motivator. Minnesota used it. They used it as a huge motivator last night. Like, hey, man, as long as you're going to... Look, a lot of people won't wake up tomorrow. A lot of people are not going to wake up tomorrow. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet. The odds are there's going to be at least one that doesn't wake up tomorrow. I'll bet it's going to be more than one. And I hope that it's not you. But if you do wake up tomorrow, get the hell up and do something, man. Face your fears. Use the fear of being homeless or broke or put out on the streets or whatever. Use those fears to motivate you to go push as hard as you possibly can and pretend like you're in the last 58 seconds of the game and you've got to give it freaking everything you have or you're not going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, the AFL, I've seen some of that. That's some crazy stuff there. So, like, give it everything you have. Put the fear to the side and go for the love of God and the love of you and the love of your family and the love of not looking like an idiot. Get up and go. That's all I got. I'm out. Appreciate every last one of you that shared this. Appreciate every last one of you who's been on here. A lot of you have been on here for quite a while. I thank you. I love you all. Appreciate every one of you. Rebecca, I know you are. I know you are. If you guys aren't following Becky Chernick right there, follow her. She's a badass. She really is. She's a great person. So follow her, and everybody wake up tomorrow and give it everything you have. I'm out. Peace. Have a great night. Thank you. Appreciate you.